And we're on.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday meditation program. My name is Paulo, and I will be your leader this morning. Before we get into the actual meditation, I'd like to talk a little bit about what is meditation? What is this word meditation, right? So much is made in our day of meditation, and I really think that it can mean many things. So I believe it's important for us to define what we're going to do ahead of doing it. So what is meditation? In our context, meditation is the practice of attention on a particular object for a prolonged period of time, right? I think that sounds pretty technical, but I think it's a good working, because people can say, hey, I'm going to meditate on a thought or this or that, or I think of Marcus Aurelius' meditations from a Western standpoint is just kind of ruminating on things. Well, in this case, it's more, the tradition shamatha as it's called in Sanskrit. It's the focus on a particular object for a prolonged period of time, and it's a training in order to be able to pick and choose what we pay attention to. What does this imply? This implies that we will lose attention from the object of meditation multiple times throughout the actual practice, and that's okay. That is the training. The training is to lose attention from an object and then come back to it. What do I mean by an object? Object in this particular scenario is going to be our breath. Why our breath? Our breath is a really nice object of meditation because we carry it with all our time. And in many ways, from the yogic traditions, our breath is it's a conduit through which we are able to get into our bodies. Right? This is a conduit through which we're able to be here, and our bodies are always here and now, right? So if they're here and now, we can use our breath and our bodies to be in the present moment. So it's a really nice little tool to get familiar with because it is something that we're always with us as long as we're human and we have this body. We can always use it. It's always with us. So I think I have to assume that's why. Our traditions have used the breath as an object of meditation, but that's merely an assumption I'm making. Furthermore, I was thinking this morning about, okay, so we do this, 30, 40-minute meditation. What does that look like tomorrow when I'm not in a group and I'm trying to incorporate it into my life? And I think it can be, maybe for some of us that have been doing it for a long time, that sounds reasonable. Okay, half an hour, sit in meditation. Maybe we have a ritual around it. Maybe that's accessible. But I talk to people, my friends who are not meditators or just like an average civilian in the street. And half an hour of sitting alone in meditation, paying attention to your breath sounds pretty overwhelming and a pretty big commitment for a lot of people based on the feedback I've received from people. So and this is not really coming from me, right? I think my teachers through the years have over and over again said, hey, do short and sweet meditation is really where it's at. Why short and sweet? Because it keeps it fresh, right? If you go for half an hour, you could fall into just sleepiness and lose the attention. And is it really a good meditation at that point? Are you really getting the most out of it? I think is the traditional answer why, hey, keep your meditation short and sweet. I think in the 21st century, in the world of Instagram and Facebook and dragging your attention left and right at any a second's moment. Short and sweet is nice because it's accessible. Short and sweet is nice because it really seems to be what our attention span looks like. So I'm offering this permission. I'm encouraging you to give yourself the permission to have short meditations throughout the day. For me, it's been really fruitful to take a break, maybe every 20 minutes, and breathe for 30 seconds. as short as that. Keep it fresh, keep it, get back in touch with yourself. Don't let the currents of our society, our job, our whatever it is that's pulling you in one direction or another completely take over, right? So we take these little short breaks from our regular life just to breathe, just to pay attention to the breath. It's a really nice just switch, and I think it's really accessible. As opposed to being overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I can't calm down for 10 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't buy that. I don't have time to do it because I'm sure every single one of us spends at least that much time on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever people use. So I don't buy that, but I won't get into it. But I do think that it's overwhelming. It's just the prospect of sitting down for 30 minutes. It's overwhelming. So don't give yourself an overwhelming thing so you will avoid it for the next, 3 lifetimes. Give yourself the permission to just sit here and meditate for a little bit, whatever that means for you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all about making meditation accessible. So on that note, we'll be doing a little bit, just a quick, we will be focusing on the breath. I'll be leading us to just little hints here and there on how to pay attention on the breath. Every, 7 to 10 minutes, I will chant, it's really not a mantra. I mean, it can be considered a mantra, but if you don't like the word, don't stick with it. If you like the word, call it a mantra. Okay, it's just a syllable. Hum. Chant it for about a minute. It's a really nice, just change of pace. Again, for the sake of keeping it fresh, doing something a little bit different, more dynamic. We chant a sound for 30 minutes, for 60 seconds or so. And it's just nice. Just pay attention to it. That'll be the 2 things that we'll do. And yeah, let's get going. So find a comfortable seated position. I think the first minute or so of the meditation should be a chance to wiggle a little bit side to side, back and forth, and find a place where both your sit bones make contact evenly with your seat. If you're sitting on a meditation cushion, trying to find a place where your weight is distributed evenly also through your legs. You're sitting on a chair, just making sure that you have some level of contact on your feet evenly to the ground. This will be nice for your lower back. And then once you've established the foundation of your body, just allowing your spine to naturally stack over your hips. And then the natural curvature of our spine curves at the top of our cervical spine. So there's a tendency for us to point our chins upwards, but that's really not a very natural, easeful place for our cervical spine. So we're tucking our chin in a little bit and allowing for a bit of a straight line to come up our chin, our spine into our skull. And just taking a big breath and exhaling out of the mouth. But just letting go of the week, letting go of your to-do list. One more big breath and exhale out the mouth. Letting go of any excess tension. And a third time, in the nose, out the mouth, letting go. And as you breathe in, just paying attention to your shoulders, to your belly, any place of excess tension that might have built up through the day, the week, a couple of lifetimes. And inviting your in-breath into that area of your body. And as you exhale, just allowing it to relax, giving it permission to let go. This doesn't mean that it's suddenly going to become totally relaxed, but just sometimes the permission, the invitation to relax just and it releases a little bit. In this way, allowing our attention to inhabit our bodies through the conduit of our breath as we exhale, just allowing our consciousness to be here and now. Can, if it's comfortable, try to invite your breath so that they're not shallow, it doesn't stick on the top. That's the traditional, like most commonly we breathe to the top of our lungs. Allow your breath to go to the bottom of your lungs, make it long and stable. It's painting through your belly, feeling it on the back, on your back ribs. And then just as easeful, exhaling slowly. This might sound counterintuitive, but just allowing yourself breathing. It's a great act of compassion and love to yourself. We think of water and food as something we really need, but what we really need is breath, air. One of our most basic needs. Noticing if we've been distracted. Not judging the distraction, not fighting the distraction, just gently, but with intent, directing our attention back to our breaths. Maybe that's the tip of the nose. Maybe that's your lung expanding and contracting. Maybe you ride the attention of your breath down into your Tao, which is at the center of your belly. 2 fingers width down from your navel and 2 fingers width in, on average, different body types. Feel inclined to mute yourself while we chant Hum. You're welcome to. If not, that's totally okay too. Notice how your body feels. Notice the quality of the state of mind. Maybe nothing changed at all. I think curiosity is always good. Just coming back to your breath. Allowing your breath to permeate your lungs. And thus allowing as much exchange of carbon and oxygen as you breathe in. all this morning or sleepy, it is nice to invite as you inhale, imagining there's light and freshness coming in through your nose. And as you exhale, I like to exhale out of my mouth and just get rid of the cobwebs and the dullness and allow new inhalation to bring wakefulness in. Alternatively, anxiety or unrest, allowing your exhalation to invite relaxation. The inhalation to be soothing, light. The exhalation, just letting go. Not fighting incoming distracting breath. Thoughts, not developing an aversion to it, but also not holding on to them and not trying to chase after them. Just notice them, allow your attention to they emerge in the field of our consciousness. And then we bring our attention back to our breath. Not pushing it away, not grasping onto it. Just trying to stay equanimous here, coming back to our breath. Meditation in this way is also a nice inventory of the state of mind that you are that day, that time. Sometimes it's said that, beginner's mind has a lot of thoughts like a mountain river. And as we meditate more, it might become like, nice creek on flatter terrain. And eventually for us down here in Texas, it might look like a bayou. In my experience, it's not really beginners or senior students, but it's more it's how I'm doing that day, how I'm doing that hour. And that's okay. back to chest breathing. You're reverted back to the habitual pattern of breathing shallowly. Just allowing breath to permeate your lungs once more. Take a full breath. Om. 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 And exhaling the stillness. Just in general, inviting curiosity and freshness to the next few minutes of breath. I know a lot of us meditate often, and it can become dull if we think we already know what's going to come next. You're staying fresh, staying curious, like a child walking into a temple. Just allowing whatever comes to come up. And just breathing together. Noticing if our body posture has changed in such a way that it's no longer comfortable. There's often an attachment to looking like a statue the entire time we meditate. And that's not compassionate or loving to ourselves. I think it's important to notice if you need a little bit of movement in your body to find a more comfortable position. It will ultimately enhance your ability to pay attention for long periods of time. In the Yoga Sutras, asana, which just means pose, it is defined as a comfortable position for meditation. It is not defined as anything beyond that. This is, probably 7,000-year-old or longer wisdom. We're not supposed to look any particular way. It feels good and it enhances your ability to be here now. It's good. Existential. It might have crept into your shoulders, into your belly. Taking a deep breath into that area, hollowing out some space, breathing out that tension. Healing to that area. Just allowing these, give yourself permission to relax here and now. We live in a crazy, stressful world. Just curious. Maybe nothing changed. Maybe everything changed. Probably somewhere in between. Just noticing. As far you have meditating with your you have been meditating with your eyes closed. I'd like to invite you to opening your way to be better prepared and better able to engage in the world in a way that we can be present. We can choose how to react. We can choose what to pay attention to and what steals our attention. And thus, in our practice, we allow the world in by opening our eyes. Thanks for meditating. Sharing your breath. Just a reminder of our motivation and why we meditate. You have access to our yellow sheet. I'm gonna do the aspiration and Shantideva is the Bodhisattva. Little verse. May all beings always have happiness in its causes. May all beings always be free of pain in its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings cling to those near nor sprung those far. For as long as space abides, for as long as time remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. We dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular today, we dedicate it to Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Ed, Leah, Connie gives, Chris for health, Sarah for healing, Kay, Sophia, Diana, Anne, Eric, Tim, animals, victims of oppression. And with this in mind, we do our dedication. Our blessings. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And we dedicate the merit. By this good, may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and if anything that we did here today is resonant with you, please feel free to take it with you in your practice in your everyday. I don't know, do we have any announcements?
Yes, so we will not have meditation next Sunday. We won't have a live meditation, but there's always recorded meditations on our YouTube channel that you can look through. The following Sunday, January 1st, we will have our first Sunday as well as Sunday meditation and Dharma conversations. That Saturday, our foundational practices, Nundro, the Brilliant Basics of Buddhism series begins. It's a really exciting new program we're starting. The following Saturday, we'll have our Full Cycles follow-up meeting and Mitra meeting. And a new Teaching Tuesday series begins on Tuesday, January 17th. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paulo, Emily, everybody.
Thank you, Paula.
All right, thank you so much. I needed that.
Bye.
You know.